As much as I don't want to believe it, it all makes sense now. The magic block, Kodiian's resources, the intricate planning. He's back. The thing who murdered my family. The Dark Fox. Hello and welcome to Tale on the Air. I'm Sean, the Fox in the Fedora, and we're here for another fun-filled, thrill-filled game of Champions RPG. For those of you who don't know, Champions is kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, only with superheroes, similar to the characters you'd find in Marvel or DC Comics. Now, instead of going by the traditional and very complicated RPG rules, yeah, I know there'll be those of you out there who'll be like, hey, they're not that complicated or whatnot, but just for our audience sakes and our contestants' sakes and especially my sake, I've extremely simplified the rules, which I'll get into in a bit. But hey, RPGs are what you make of them. Now then, on to the game. As it was explained in the new intro of the series, I will be known as Director Fox, and I will send various contestants, aka other heroes, on missions to save the world, or something along those lines. The rules for this RPG have been simplified to dice rolls and improv. Now there is a set ending that the contestants are trying to get to, and I will help steer them to that ending, but the rest of the game is a combination of their imagination and mine. As the game master, I can accept or reject a path they want to take or an idea they have, but one way or another, the contestants/heroes have to abide by the dice. For the contestants, if they roll an odd number, they fail. An even number, they succeed. Our contestants each have 3 lives and 4 hit points per life. The hit points cannot be taken away if they, I don't know, example, miss a bus they had to get on or something. The hit points can be taken away if the bus is dropped on top of them. Lose the 4 hit points, you lose a life. Lose all 3 lives, and you're out of the game. If both contestants lose, the villain wins. Now, without further ado, since all our contestants created their own superheroes for this season, let's hear from the 2 we have on today. Contestant number 1, can you please tell us who you are, the name and origin of your hero, their powers and weaknesses?
Hey everyone, this is Wingulfalari, and my hero's name is Tristan Nolan, otherwise known as Bestia. Bestia has a partner, or, well, more like a pet, named Locke. Locke is basically her pet T-Rex, and I'll explain a little bit more about him later. As for my hero's origin story, Trista was a worker at the Field Museum in Chicago. She tended to be a little reserved and spent a lot of time wandering the Life in Animals exhibition, as well as visit the famous T-Rex skeleton often and admired them. One day she was posted as a night guard, and a young apprentice mage broke into the museum to practice new spells, specifically in reanimation. He and Trista bumped into each other at the animals exhibit, and the mage's spell backfired onto her. In her panic, she ran out into the main hallway and bumped into the T-Rex skeleton, rubbing off her DNA onto it and ultimately reanimating the T-Rex fully. Since he was fused with her DNA signature, he was connected to Trista and sought to protect her. Later on, she named him Locke and figured out her powers by testing them out at the Lincoln Zoo. For her powers and abilities, she has the ability to adapt her body to simulate the physical strengths and weaknesses of any organism she comes into contact with. Due to the possibility of having limited options of animals to adapt to in certain situations, like for instance if she were stuck inside a building or if she were in an area with limited access to animals, she now carries a case filled with animal DNA samples of various creatures. Weaknesses. When adapting to an organism, she often adapts the temperament of said organism, which can endanger any teammates, especially when the temperament is aggressive. There are also the weaknesses associated with each organism. The adaptation is temporary, and depending on how much she adapts to the animal, the time it takes to wear off varies, and also affects temperament. For instance, if she adapts to massive changes, the transformation only lasts a short while and the temperament will overcome her original personality.
Contestant number 2. Introduce yourself, your hero, their origin, powers, and weaknesses.
My character is possibly the hottest character of the group because his power is fire. And his name is Alex Riley, possibly the most Californian name ever, although he ended up getting the nickname Burnout eventually by people. But the plot twist is, he has never been to California. Born and raised in the heart of Chicago, as they are the best, in his mind, for running around and practicing parkour. A smartass at heart, he can fight anything he wants, or so he thinks. He ended up finding out about his power randomly while playing pocket monsters and trying to act like Charizard. Afraid what his family and his friends at the time would think, he kept his power a secret. Over time, he has found out that his arms and legs are fire resistant. With enough practice, he learned how to produce fire from his arms, make fireballs, even eventually learning how to fly with his fire. So weaknesses. Obviously, any sort of water will slow him down, but not kill him. He cannot be stuck in non-vented areas for that long, as of course fire needs oxygen. While his arms, legs, and now clothing are fire resistant, the rest of him isn't. While he is able to run fast and is skilled in fighting, he isn't super in that way. So he can't last long in long running or long fighting situations.
Welcome, Burnout and Bestia. Here's your mission. Kodiian and his mercenaries' attack on Millennium has been dealt with, thanks to Kodiak and the Divine Lupine. But while I was questioning one of the captured soldiers under Kodiian's command, I found this on him that was previously overlooked. A necklace, with the image of a globe, with a slash cutting violently through it. Not too many people would recognize this insignia, but I do. It's the sign of the Occultum, an organization that has lasted for hundreds of years, and has been under the leadership of numerous historical criminal masterminds and would-be conquerors. Originally established by the sorceress Morgan Le Fay as an anti-Knights of the Round Table, they have carried on through the ages as a criminal terrorist group seeking nothing but eventual world domination through manipulation and intimidation. You know the Illuminati? Well, this is it. Their most recent leader as of 6 years ago was Janos Corrigan, alias the Dark Fox, my so-called evil twin. I usually don't like to talk about this, but if the Occultum is at large again, well, then I have no choice. To clarify, Corrigan is not my brother, nor a clone, or anything like that, so to speak. Some years after I first got my powers and permanently transformed into what you now see before you, a cult known as Demon attempted to capture me and use me for their own nefarious ends. Eventually they caught me and tried to force me to use my magic to activate some kind of mystic gem. I managed to get free and attempted to destroy the gem, but the demon leader stabbed me with it, and the mix of my blood and the dark magic, it somehow created this shadowy, completely evil version of myself. This dark fox was born with one thing on his mind: my total destruction and the ruin of everything I care about. Escaping and taking the name Corrigan to satisfy his own desire for an identity and hide from me for a while, he revived the struggling Occultum group and united my enemies against me. Then, 6 years ago, Dark Fox put forth his final attack and killed my immediate family while making me watch. When I had my moment to fight back, I did so, and I thought I had finally stopped him. His body was never found after that night, but I just assumed he was gone for good. But you know what they say when you just assume, right? If Corrigan is back and in charge of the Occultum once again, we cannot waste a moment. All the other pack members are helping to clean up the city after Kodiian's attack, so you two are coming with me to visit the mayor. Not 10 minutes ago, I was informed he received a death threat, and I have a feeling it's tied to all this. So let's get to it. Okay, you guys got that?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, we arrive at the mayor's office and we meet the mayor. This is Calvin Bissell, currently up for re-election this year, and, as you know, he recently received a death threat from an unknown adversary. So we're going to wait here and guard the mayor wherever he goes until we catch this assailant. So, there are 2 exits nearby the mayor's office here. Burnout, I want you on the farthest exit, and Bestia, you're on the nearest exit.
Lock's here, right?
Yes, Locke is out in the parking lot.
out in the parking lot.
Do we park him or?
Okay, I want you two to cover the exits. Report anything suspicious to me. Anything at all.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God, there's a spider.
That's just a spider, Burnout.
Oh, okay. Well, you should keep an eye out for anything. I mean,
For a little while, things remain pretty quiet. No sign of any Occultum agents or assassins or anything like that. It's pretty quiet.
So boring. It's just standing out here in this parking lot, making sure Locke doesn't eat anything.
Come in, Bestia.
Yes, Mr. Director, sir, yes.
How's everything?
Everything seems alright. Nothing. We haven't had anything yet. Locke tried to, like, go after some birds, but other than that, we're pretty okay.
Alright. How about you, Burnout? Burnout. Burnout!
oh, what? Huh?
How is everything on your end?
From what I've seen, nothing. Do you got any coffee?
To your right is a coffee machine.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Do I need a dice roll for the coffee machine?
Nah, you're good.
Okay.
So another hour passes. The mayor isn't so sure the assassin is going to show. I mean, sure, he's been attacked before, but he's also gotten plenty of death threats that were just from citizens overreacting with anger that led to nothing. I mean, there's no evidence that this has something to do with Kodiian or an international historical conspiracy. But just as the mayor says that and gets up from his desk, one of the bodyguards pulls a gun and attempts to shoot the mayor.
Alright, time for Fox's dice roll.
Yep. Thinking quickly, I try to conjure a spell to turn the bullet into a harmless material. Rolling for myself. Ah, shoot. It's a 9.
Ah, great.
He shoots the mayor?
Again, like when I tried to save Kodiak and Lupine, my spell is countered by an unseen dark magic. And with that, I sense the presence of Corrigan somewhere. Thankfully, the mayor's other bodyguards attempt to protect the mayor, resulting in him only taking a bullet to the shoulder. I tackle the assailant before he can shoot the mayor again, and manage to radio for you guys to get in here. So... get in here!
Alright, hold on, I'm drinking my coffee, God.
The two of you burst into the room. I'm fighting the guy. He manages to get out of my grasp and attempts to make a break for it.
I throw my coffee at him. It's hot.
Throwing coffee at him. You missed. It's a 3.
No! My coffee!
Okay, Bestia. You want to try something?
Right before he can get away, let's see if Locke can, quickly reach in far enough and grab him by, the shirt tail or something.
Okay, rolling for Locke. Let's see if he's a bit more reliable this time. 10 episodes later, Locke. Come on. It's an 8.
Yay, Locke! Good boy!
Locke grabs the assassin by the tails of his jacket, and we've got it. So I come over to the trapped assassin. The mayor's being taken care of by his aides, and the ambulance has been called. And I go right for the man's pockets. Not interested in asking questions. In his pocket, I find a ring with the familiar insignia of the Occultum on it. But interestingly enough, the mayor says that this man, named Henry Williams, has been one of his most trusted bodyguards since he took office. And like all the other bodyguards, they were screened and tested and background checks were done, so how can he be a member of the Occultum?
Maybe he's been brainwashed. We should smack him to knock some sense into him.
Okay, I'll roll for that.
Please don't fail me now. I don't want to smack myself again.
You got a 4. You smack him, but he's not under any mind control. He knows what he's doing. Which also confirms yet another fear. This is how deep the Occultum goes. Even those we can trust are now suspect.
Okay, can we smack him again for the coffee?
I'm not even gonna roll for that. You just smack him again.
Yay! So, how much experience do I get from that?
50.
Oh, okay, good.
However, along with the ring, I found something else in the man's pockets. A list of names. Names that we recognize. In fact, they're all friends of mine and allies of P.A.C.K, which includes the mayor's name as well. This must be a copy of the Occultum's target list.
Ooh, someone's going shopping.
Not that kind of target.
Oh, dang it.
No. On the list, I find the following names. Captain Robert McHaines, the Chief of Police of Millennium City, as well as a longtime friend of mine. Mayor Calvin Bissell, whom we just saved. Molly Margot, another good friend of mine and reporter for the Millennium City Star and a blog called The Daily Daily, where she has reported and covered practically all of our escapades. Janet Lloyd, the district attorney for Millennium City. And lastly, former superhero, philanthropist, and inventor James Harmon. Aside from the mayor, I need you guys to pick 2 each from the list and go protect them. So, who are you guys going to protect first?
I call Molly.
Like, where would a T-Rex be most useful?
Well, take your pick. Harmon Industries, the police department, or the district attorney's office.
I'll just go protect James Harmon.
All right, so you're headed for Harmon Industries.
Wait, I want to change my mind. I want to go to the police station.
Okay, so Burnout's going to go protect Captain McHaines first, while Bestia goes to protect James Harmon first. All right, we'll start with Bestia. So you head over to Harmon Industries. James Harmon is still there. He likes to work late. The security and security systems know who you are and let you into the building. You take the elevator to Harmon's office and explain the situation to him.
Alright, so we have this guy who wants to kill you, basically. You're on the list, because, yeah.
Great explanation. Needless to say, he knows I wouldn't bring such a matter to him if it wasn't serious, and he agrees to follow your lead here. So now my next question to you, and the question he's also posing, is how are you going to go about protecting him? To describe the office better for you, there's a big window behind him, 1 door leading in and out, and you're on the 15th floor.
I would probably stand by the door and have Locke, like, circle the property, like right around the building, on patrol for, like, anything in the sky or something like that, and he'd probably, like, alert me or whatever.
Okay, going with that plan, and it's a good thing, too. Not 10 minutes later, you hear what sounds like a helicopter, followed by a roar from Locke, and suddenly, an attack helicopter comes hovering by the window.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Okay, so what are you gonna do?
Tell him, to hit the deck. What do I want to do?
May I offer a suggestion?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so Harmon ducks behind the desk, and let's say you will as well. The bullets do go through the desk, but you're both low enough to the ground that the bullets go over your heads. However, once the bullet hail gets finished, you and he won't need the desk anymore, and then you can give your assailants the desk, if you get my drift.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, Harmon's safe, won't roll for that, but I will roll for your dodging, though. It's a 6! You leap behind the desk with Harmon and evade the bullet hail.
Yay!
So their bullet hail ends, you see your window of opportunity, you go to your utility belt, grab some gorilla DNA, absorb it, then you get up, grab the desk, and...
I hurl it!
It's a 5.
Aww.
They saw it coming and the pilot pulled away before the desk made contact. On the plus side, though, you managed to get them to move back. They have to reposition themselves in order to resume the attack. So now that you've got this moment, what are you gonna do?
Okay, how low are they to the ground?
As I said, you and they are on the 15th floor.
How far away are they from the window?
Well, they're not really close or anything because they don't want to risk catching the blades on the side of the building. But they're... let's say they're close enough.
So, if I were to supposedly take some of my, cheetah DNA, I guess, I leap out the window and, manage to grab a hold of the, landing supports of the helicopter. Hopefully, like, maybe throwing it off balance or something.
Okay, we'll roll for that. It's a 10!
Yay!
You were successful in causing the helicopter to become unbalanced, forcing them to drop a few floors. They try to shake you off, but you hang on until they get low enough where, and I won't roll for this because, I mean, you got your 10, so you're good. Locke jumps up and grabs the tail of the helicopter, forcing it completely to the ground. So these guys are now cornered by a big T-Rex. No chance of making a run for it, plus the helicopter is damaged from the rough landing. And every time they attempt to draw a weapon and shoot Locke, the dinosaur gives the helicopter quite the shove. So Harmon is safe, the police arrive, but before you go, however, do you want to question these men trapped in the helicopter?
Let's see if I can taunt them with the T-Rex.
Okay, let's see if they'll speak to you. They're trained assassins, loyal terrorists to their cause, hardened mercenaries who won't respond to the worst kind of torture. But apparently a dinosaur is different. You got it too.
Yay!
What would you like to ask them?
Who hired you?
At first they don't answer you, but the pilot gives in as Locke approaches again. Janos Corrigan. They serve Janos Corrigan. And then the helicopter suddenly explodes, killing all of the men within and blasting you back while Locke leans away from the intense heat. But what could have caused the explosion? Was it Locke's rough landing or something else? Well, either way.
They did.
Alright, seems there's nothing more you can do here. But before we head over to see how Burnout is doing, who would you like to protect next?
I'm gonna go and check on Janet Lloyd.
Okay, the district attorney is your next stop. So while you head over there, we cut over to the police department where Burnout has been standing next to and guarding Captain McCain's, not leaving his side. So, Burnout, is there anything you'd like to ask or speak to the captain about?
You are tall.
Just then, in walks Lieutenant Thomas Ross, McCain's second in command. He has just returned from checking in on the mayor. While he is aware of the present danger, he doesn't believe they need the help of quote-unquote superheroes. He believes that the MCPD is trained well enough and has enough able-bodied men that they can handle some of the tougher customers out there.
Okay, so I think he's the cult member. Can I smack him?
Okay, first of all, I don't think we can arrest him as a suspected member of the Occultum just because he's a loudmouth. Second of all, why are you always smacking people?
Because I don't have my coffee.
Okay, one officer brings you some coffee. There you go. Problem solved. Captain McCain's, despite what Lieutenant Ross has to say, continues to agree that it would be better to sit tight, work with P.A.C.K, and wait this out just to be on the safe side. However, Burnout, you then hear something as you lean against the captain's desk, drinking your coffee. It sounds like a faint beeping noise.
Oh my god, either someone's getting a text message.
Acting on a hunch, you tell the captain and lieutenant to be quiet for a moment and listen carefully. You follow the faint beeping down to the bottom drawer, you open it, and nothing. Yet you still hear the faint beeping.
Do I need to check underneath the desk?
You better check or do something soon, because that beeping's getting faster.
Okay, flip over the desk.
Okay, you table flip the desk, and underneath it is... You got a 5. Nothing is underneath the desk. But you still hear the beeping, and because you flipped it, the beeping has gotten even faster.
New plan. I take the captain, leave that loudmouth person in the building, and set the place on fire. After we leave, of course.
Burnout, I'm putting you in the Captain Frankman category here of best worst ideas ever. Okay, here's the deal. I'll let you do it, but you yell for all of the officers and people in the precinct to get out now.
Except for the lieutenant person?
No, you gotta save him too. You're the good guy.
Can I be like the anti-hero? I mean, come on, I don't like that guy.
Nope, sorry. Psycho Trigger's already got that title to himself. Okay, rolling. It's a 16! You get everybody out in a speedy but orderly manner. Surprising, actually.
Oh, crap! I left my coffee in there.
Let the record show that in this episode, Burnout has lost his coffee twice.
I just take out my MP3 player and just play sad bagpipe music.
Amazing Grace all the way. So Burnout, you radio Bestia about what happened and let her know that the captain is safe. Which also means that you've got the last person on the list. Without another word, Burnout flies to the Millennium City Star Building while Bestia arrives at the district attorney's office. Parking Locke outside, she races in, identifies herself to security, and gives the DA the lowdown. You remain in the office, and for an hour, nothing happens.
Well, I'm not letting my guard down because I know what happens when I do that.
Just then, you hear what sounds like helicopters approaching. Could they be trying another aerial attack? Not quite, as you suddenly hear a loud crash, followed by a loud roar from outside.
Locke, what is it, boy?
You carefully, but quickly, look outside the window and see that Locke has been trapped in a giant metal cage and is being lifted away by several helicopters working in unison. So are you gonna try and follow them?
Oh, I see what they did here. It's either stay and protect Janet, or go and rescue Locke.
Aha, you're figuring them out.
Oh boy, this is hard.
Protect the DA or rescue Locke. You can't do both. Burnout is on the other side of town, as am I, and McCain's officers are not only spread out, but, despite what they have been able to handle, the Occultum has them, shall we say, outfoxed.
Janet or Locke. Oh man, you got this good.
Locke. Who cares about her? There's plenty of 60-year-old ladies out there.
See, if it was Molly, I could easily carry her with me, but I can't really do that with a 60-year-old lady.
Just stick a sign on the old lady saying, "Don't kill her. I'll be back."
Oh, right, because that's how terrorist assassins work. I'm sure they'll just see the sign and be like, okay.
Oh, okay, the sign says so.
Okay. Ultimate decision right here, right now. I'm gonna go after Locke.
You're going to go after Locke. Okay, very well. The luck of the dice is with you. You got a 12. You're able to keep up with the helicopters, but how exactly are you going to rescue Locke?
I'm gonna jump from building to building to building, and then, without overloading, hopefully, I'm going to kick in some kangaroo DNA and combine that with the cheetah-like speed and, just absolutely, launch myself, hopefully, into the cage, and with luck.
Alright, well, I already rolled a 12 for it, so we'll say it was successful. Now you're in the cage. What next?
I'm basically gonna get in his saddle, and I'm gonna have him, bash everything, swing the cage from side to side, bring the helicopters down, and, destroy the cage with it.
Okay. You have Locke do that, causing the helicopters to lose control. They crash land as the cage breaks open, but thankfully you two land in the Millennium City Pillow Factory. Because, we had to bring that joke full circle. You recover from the fall, jump back on Locke, and race back to the DA's office. You run back inside, and she's dead. Shot in the head with her own personal handgun she kept for defense. Moments later, I run into the office and see what's happened. Find Burnout. We're not going to lose anyone else.
Yes, sir.
You jump on Locke's back and make your way to the Millennium Star building. For a moment, I remain motionless. I see the gun on the floor. At the risk of contaminating the crime scene, I take the gun, see there are still bullets left in it. If magic won't end Corrigan, and a stab through the heart won't, I'll make sure to put a few in his brain when I see him. One way or another, he's not gonna live to see another sunrise. Meanwhile, at the Millennium City Star building, Burnout has found Molly Margot and explains the situation. She tells you that this isn't the first time her life's been threatened by some superpowered madman or criminal group. She's handled things before and will do it again. She tells you to thank me for looking out for her, but like so many times before, she doesn't need my help, the team's help, or the team's protection.
Look, that doesn't matter now. What's important is I get some goddamn coffee.
She points you down the hallway to the coffee maker.
Thank you.
You go down the hallway, brew some coffee, put all the cream and sugar or whatever you'd like in it, come back, and she's gone. So what are you gonna do, Burnout? I think they have her.
I'm going to sip on my coffee. Can we get a dice roll on that, please?
Rolling. It's a 1. You didn't put the lid on properly. It spills.
Okay, I need to make another pot of coffee, then I'll get to the bottom of this.
I'll give you all the coffee you want later. Go rescue Molly.
Did anything get knocked over? Is there any, like, did they leave anything behind?
Yeah, there are signs of a struggle, but nothing that really gives you any clues. However, it didn't take you that long to go make the coffee, so you can't be too far behind. The only thing now is to figure out if they went down to the parking garage or up to the roof.
Both?
One or the other, Burnout.
Alright, I'll go to the roof.
Going to the roof. It's a 5. She's not on the roof.
God dang it. Okay.
So you can still try to get down to the parking garage, but they'll have a big head start on you. Unless, of course, you fly down to ground level.
Yeah, please don't do a dice roll. I don't need him falling.
Well, I'm doing a dice roll. It's a 13.
Dang it.
You do begin to fly, but while you were in mid-jump to begin your flight, one of the Occultum agents positioned on the roof was ready for you. You didn't see him at first. He was hiding behind the entrance to the stairwell. The agent, using a specialized launcher, aims well enough and fires a fire-retardant sheet at you, putting out your flames as you fall.
I'm gonna take off the blanket, fly up there, and smack the guy.
Okay, you got 2 chances. Otherwise, you're street pizza and minus 100. Oh, the luck be with you. You got a 4, and nobody's lost any life yet. This is great. Alright, so now that I've jinxed it, you pull the blanket off, restart your flame, and fly back up to the roof where you smack the henchman.
Bad guy.
bad guy.
Okay, with that goon dispatched, you look down at street level and see a car speeding off from the building. That must be where Molly is. Alright, we're gonna roll to see if you can catch up with the car and stop it. If you miss, the turn goes to Bestia, who is almost there.
Okay, can I take the bad guy that blanketed me and throw him at the car?
Ow! You could, just don't kill him. We need him for information. Alright, rolling. 15. You flew down with the henchman, threw him, but you missed. He landed in a dumpster instead. 2 points. Which means the turn goes over to Bestia. Bestia, what are you gonna do?
Reenact the Jurassic Park car chases. Okay, so, like, the fastest they could probably go in a city with traffic is probably around 30, maybe 40. And luckily, that is roughly the top speed of the average T-Rex. And, like, I come up, like, right next to the car, and I probably, like, have him reach over and, like, hey, pull over by having him, like, nudge the car slightly to the side, like, except, like, when Locke nudges something, it's, like a hit, yeah.
Okay, I get you. You're gonna try and nudge them off the road without causing them to wreck. Okay, we'll roll for that. Sorry, it's a 3. Noticing you coming up alongside them, their driver turns off down an intersecting road, which means we're back to Burnout.
Can I use the guy again as, to throw?
No, you can't throw the guy again.
What I'm going to do is shoot a fireball at the tire.
Okay, here we go. It's a 16. You were successful in blasting one of the tires and you spook the driver. The car skids out of control. However, we're not done yet. They get out of the car and prepare to attack you, 1 for each. So let's go with Bestia first.
I don't know how to pronounce it, like, it's a disarming command. Like, I give him the disarming command, and basically what Locke will do, he'll grab the gun, kind of throw it out into the distance, and then, like, without crushing him, pin him down under his foot.
Okay, we'll try for that. Rolling. Ooh, sorry. It's an 11. This guy's actually pretty well trained. He moves out of the way, gets into a better position, and fires, getting you in the shoulder. Minus 25.
Darn it. Alright, well, first damage of the episode, there you go.
Okay, back to Burnout.
Okay, I try to convince him that I'm not the bad guy, but his teammate is actually the bad guy, and he should turn on him.
I'm sorry, but these guys are not the cake-loving monster.
Do I have any coffee on hand?
No, you don't have any coffee.
Did I take that blanket with me?
Yeah, we'll say you kept it. You just kept it away from your flames, of course.
I thought you were gonna be like, okay, so you're gonna fly down, take the blanket, and, like, quickly wrap him in it.
I can do that. I mean, you know.
Rolling for that. You got a 20! You wrap him up, then smack him.
Yeah, it's like Burnout's only attack.
Okay, back to Bestia.
Okay, I think it's time for, that tail swipe.
Alright, rolling for that. It's a 6. You got him.
Yay! No bad luck. I'm like, yay, no bad luck. No bad luck streak. Please, please, please.
With that, Locke tail swipes the last agent, knocking him into the side of a nearby building. Now that all the henchmen have been dispatched, you go to check on Molly. You both find her to be okay, and she thanks you for saving her. You tell her that you need to get the cops there to get her to safety, in case the Occultum tries again. However, as you try to get in contact with me, you don't see Molly pull something from her pocket. It's a tranq gun. She shoots both of you before you can make another move. Locke sees this and instinctively charges towards Molly, but once again, Corrigan is prepared. More agents, hiding on the roofs of the buildings, bombard Locke with enough gas bombs to knock him out. You feel yourselves coming out of it, but you find you are no longer uptown, but instead trapped in these plexiglass-like tubes in what looks like a basement or boiler room of some kind.
Well, I know what Burnout's gonna do.
Actually, that won't work. Not only does it seem to burn/melt extremely slowly, if at all, but it seems there is limited air in the tubes as well.
There's not much Burnout can do anyway because he can't stand closed spaces.
In fact, you are alerted to this by a voice from the shadows. It sounds like me, but you know it can't be me. Stepping out of the shadows is Janos Corrigan, the Dark Fox.
Finally, can I have some coffee, please?
Oh, be quiet, will you? Now that I've run you all rampant, relax. Take a load off. Once your boss, my goody two-shoes twin, gets here, we can have all the fun. And do not worry. I left enough clues for him to follow. He knows where you are.
A few moments later, you hear an explosion from outside, followed by gunfire. Then, as suddenly as it began, it stops. Seconds later, I burst through the door and come face to face with you guys and Corrigan.
About time you got here.
Let them go, Corrigan.
Now, why would I just go and do that? After all the setups and Molly faking her kidnapping to lure them into this trap. Oh, she says hi, by the way.
Yeah. So when did you brainwash her into joining your little cult?
Oh, she's always been one of mine. My little ace reporter in the hole. Specifically there to befriend you and infiltrate your life. That's how I figured out where you hid your family all those years ago. I couldn't sense them because you and Mommy never used your magic at the safe house. So Molly became my most valuable agent and told me everything. To prevent you from suspecting anything, I even staged your kidnapping. Just like I did tonight. And then when you went on to bigger things, I had her follow you to Millennium City. With you still none the wiser. Oh, I've had so much fun playing with and twisting your life. Then and now. And here you thought you had finished me off all those years ago.
How did you survive, Corrigan? I stabbed you through the heart that night. You fell several stories from a bridge.
Yes, it was a good trick, wasn't it? One I'm sure you've mastered by now. The ability to create a mystical mirage of yourself, totally under your control. It can take bullets and other attacks for you and leave the real you totally unscathed.
Yeah, I'm aware of that trick.
Good! Now that all the questions have been answered, here's how we're going to do this next round of our little game. I'm going to pump gallons of water into the tubes your two agents are trapped in. It shouldn't take long for both tubes to be completely filled. And no, there is no way out. I have Bestia's utility belt, and Burnout will not be able to burn his way out of there anytime soon. But I'm a sporting kind of guy, so you can save them if you want. Your magic should be more than capable of removing those casings. However, that won't be so good when my mystic explosive goes off. You could just forget them and save yourself, but we both know you're not that kind of fox. But I digress. It's your choice, Director.
With that, Corrigan takes his leave, and I quickly run over to the tubes and prepare a spell to break them. The water starts pouring into your tanks. I'm gonna roll to get Bestia out first. Okay, got a 4. You're out. And I hand you back your utility belt so you can adapt to some more animal strengths.
Is it now a double team effort to get Burnout out?
Yes, I'll roll for both of us. Dang it, it's a 9. Corrigan must have a secondary spell in this one, figuring we double team it. Let's try again. 2 more chances before Burnout is completely submerged. Ah, dang it. It's a 13.
Oh, no!
He isn't drowning yet, but the water's rising quickly. Sorry, Burnout, we're trying to get you out. Oh, come on, another 13? Ah, that's a minus 25 for Burnout. Now every time we don't roll an even, he loses minus 25.
Okay, you guys suck.
Okay, rolling again.
Alright, let's do it.
I hate this dice. It's a 5, minus 25 again. Alright, once more, Bestia. 18! Final! Burnout, are you okay?
Screw you. Guys, I need a dice roll. I want to go get coffee. I'm cold, I'm freezing.
Yeah, he's okay. Alright, let's get him out of here so he can dry off. Not to mention, we gotta find that explosive before it's too late.
Alright, gotta go.
Alright, so the 3 of us rush up from the basement, through some service doors, and into the lobby of the building we're in. When suddenly, you realize where we are. P.A.C.K headquarters.
Oh, no!
Thankfully, no one else is here right now. Everyone else is off on other assignments, and the staff has gone home for the evening. But even still, this is our headquarters. Home away from home for some people. Plus, some people left their pets here, so we can't let it go up. Now, where would Corrigan put that explosive?
Would he be like totally ironic and put it in your office since it's like at the top of the building, or like would he put it down there and under like around the supports or something?
Burnout, finish getting dried off, fly up to the top of the building and check my office.
Okay, I'll use that blanket that someone gave me.
You fly up to the top floor, peer into the windows of my office, carefully look around, and rolling. It's a 15. Nothing in the office. Alright, Bestia, let's try the supports. Burnout, join us below the building when you can. Taking a different route downward, we arrive at the supports of the building, and... it's a 10! Alright, we found it. Okay. Mystic explosives are a bit different than regular explosives. Obviously. Basically, they're compacted forms of antimatter. Once they explode, they'll reduce everything and everyone in a certain number of miles to... basic molecules. To sum it up, it won't affect the entire city, but it ain't pretty nonetheless. I can stop it, but I need to concentrate. You two will need to cover me while I work on it. It'll take 3 rolls to stop it. You got that?
Alright.
I'll use one of my turns to cover Fox with the blanket.
Burnout, what are you doing?
You say cover you, I mean...
Not like that.
Okay, what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to take out some... Who has the strongest armor in the animal kingdom? Let's say a rhino.
Alright, if you're all prepared, I get to work on defusing this thing, just as more Occultum agents arrive and... oh look, they're led by Molly, armed with a shotgun. Alright, first wave. Here we go, rolling. It's a 12. Bestia blocks any bullets headed my way with her armored body, while Burnout sends a wave of fire at the henchmen. Molly yells for the second wave to attack. Here we go. Same deal. Looking good, guys. It's a 2. Bestia shields me again, and Burnout's fire wave takes out the second patrol. Here comes the third and final wave, and this time Molly is leading the charge.
Can I smack Molly?
Nah, just keep sending those fire waves. Here we go. Ah, darn it, it's a 19. One of them saw an opening and took it. Got me in the shoulder. Ah!
No!
Okay, rolling again. I only need to roll an even one more time, but 2 more odds and that's it. Rolling. 18!
Yes! Ah!
Thank God.
So Bestia shields me one last time while Burnout sends one final wave of fire at the henchmen, knocking them out. But, unfortunately for Molly, she wasn't wearing anything to protect her face like the other henchmen were. Stupid move. She gets a face full of fire and goes down. Still alive, but down. Meanwhile, the Mystic Explosive is stopped.
Yay, home sweet home is safe.
Just then, however, you hear the building's comm systems come online and the voice of the Dark Fox speak.
Oh, excellent, excellent job. You've really brought together quite the team, Director. Too bad that was only one of my explosives. Yes, I was quite disappointed when Kodiian was unable to blow up this miserable tribute to human ingenuity. Well, there's an oxymoron. So, I took it upon myself to rig parts of the city to explode. Just in case. Not mystical explosives, mind you. I had to keep my presence hidden at that point, as you know. But definitely explosives nonetheless. And I've got my claw on the detonator.
Can I smack him?
When we find him, we race back up, through the lobby, and out the front doors where we're immediately put on a spotlight by a helicopter hovering above us.
If you're interested in seeing the fireworks, I'd get to the roof. It's going to be quite the show.
With that, he orders his pilot to fly higher as he prepares to detonate the bombs. We need to stop him before he gets any higher. Just then, Bestia, you hear a familiar thumping noise as you turn and see Locke has arrived.
Yay!
The T-Rex sees the helicopter and prepares to jump up and grab it. Rolling for that.
Come on. Come on.
It seems Locke has reverted back to his unreliable state. You got an 11.
What the heck?
Okay, Corrigan's helicopter is too high for Locke to jump up and get it now. Burnout, it's up to you.
Hit the hind propeller.
I have no idea what that is, but let's go with it.
Rolling. You got a 2! Burnout chucks a fireball right into the hind propeller. Well, needless to say, Corrigan's helicopter spirals out of control and crash lands on the 7th floor of the construction site for our base's newest building. We race towards the construction site, climb the stairs to the 7th floor, and on the way up, what do you know, Burnout? The construction crew left behind their coffee. And it's still warm.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Okay.
Okay, so you take a cup of coffee, naturally, and then follow us up to the 7th floor. We find the helicopter, open the door, and find the pilot, dead, but no sign of Corrigan. He's still here. Everybody be quiet. Shh.
Man, this is good coffee. Good coffee.
Burnout!
Oh, sorry.
Nothing happens for a few moments, when suddenly, Corrigan leaps out of the shadows and rams into me.
Okay, I'm hoping this will work, although it hasn't before. I want to throw my coffee at him.
Okay, throwing coffee. Again. Yeah, no. You got a 3. Corrigan, hearing you guys from behind, knocks me aside and then uses a spell to stop the coffee in midair, and then throws it back at you. And as we established before, while some parts of you are fire resistant and you can control and create fire, doesn't make you completely invulnerable to it. Minus 25.
Alright, I'm gonna go get more coffee. Hold on.
Okay, so Burnout walks back down to get more coffee, so... Bestia, it's up to you. Perhaps if you can somehow move the battle to ground level, Locke can aid you.
I guess what I can do, like, I should still have my rhino DNA, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to charge him and see if I can throw Dark Fox out of the building instead of both of you.
Okay, rolling for that. Sorry, you got a 1. He tosses me aside again, magically restrains you, and then tosses you down 2 floors. That's a minus 25. With both of you out, I try to rush at him again, but he magically restrains me and holds me over the edge of the building. I try to counter the spell, but he's got me and holding tight, squeezing every time I try to concentrate.
So this is where it ends, after all your efforts to stop me. Yes, that's right. This whole time it was me. I funded the Perfect Man's Metatron operations, sent Hatman to take a cut, hired Warpath to break Hatman out of prison, sent Zareth after Perfect Man when he betrayed me. I aided Franklin Stone in breaking out Radium and Nuke. I gave Kodiian everything he needed to launch his attack on this city. And now that I've worn your team down and spread it thin, there's no one left to help you. I can finally finish what I started and end you once and for all. Goodbye, Director Fox.
Just then, however, Burnout comes back up with another cup of coffee.
Ah, finally, coffee. I will never lose you, precious.
Burnout!
So I got a couple questions. Is Dark Fox completely fixated on Director Fox?
Yes, just throw the coffee again!
What? No. Is Dark Fox wearing any pants?
Stop asking stupid questions and throw the dang coffee!
Okay, no, I got something better. I'm gonna sneak up behind him and take coffee and pour it down his pants.
Okay, rolling.
I swear if this works.
Please make this work.
Nope, it's a 5.
What, do I pour it down my own pants or what?
No, but he quickly turns, fires a magic blast with his free hand, knocking you backwards where the coffee lands on top of you. Minus 25, and you've lost your first life.
It's too bad we can't do it at the same time.
Why don't you try ramming him off with your rhino abilities again, while Burnout can intercept his attempt to pound me into the ground.
Let's do it.
Let's roll for that.
Come on, I swear to...
It's a 16!
Oh my gosh, finally.
Burnout flies over, grabs a hold of me, just as Bestia rams into Corrigan from behind, sending him flying where he lands in a tool shed below. We all race back to ground level, but, of course, Corrigan is not out yet. He uses a magic pulse to get all the debris off of him, preparing for a massive magical attack.
Burnout.
Yeah.
Burnout, remember that thing we talked about? That super awesome thing that we've never tried before? You remember when we talked about that?
I think.
You think? You remember it?
Maybe.
Okay, you wanna try it?
Sure, why not?
Lock boy! Come here!
Okay. And yes, I know what the idea is, so... Locke comes on over, opens his mouth on command. Burnout, although a bit reluctant, gets into Locke's mouth. Bestia gets on the saddle on Locke's back, and... rolling... It's a 6!
Yes!
Yay!
Burnout, in Locke's mouth, combines his powers with Locke's natural abilities, and simply on the basis of it looks and sounds cool, Locke is now a fire-breathing T-Rex. Corrigan, confused by this maneuver, prepares to fire his devastating attack nonetheless, but I interfere and keep him busy long enough for Bestia to command Locke to charge him while Burnout launches a powerful stream of fire at Corrigan. With careful timing, I duck out of the way just as you blast Corrigan back so hard that he goes flying through P.A.C.K headquarters and out into the nearby forest, where he takes out several trees and lands in a small puddle of water. I teleport over to where Kodiian landed. I see him trying to get up and quickly teleport on top of him, forcing his face into the mud with my foot. Without a second thought, I pull the still-loaded gun and stick the barrel right into the back of Kodiian's head. I promised I'd never use one of these. But for you, I'll make an exception. So long as it rids the world of you and every evil deed your sick mind concocts.
Then what are you waiting for? Pull the trigger and send me straight to hell. It's what you've always wanted, right? So go on. Finish it.
I want to pull the trigger. I want to pull it so badly. But despite what he is, what he's done, something tells me not to. I lower the weapon.
What's the matter, you coward? Finish it!
You know what? No. You're not even worth the price of the bullet. Bestia, Burnout, read him his rights. Oh, wait. He's a mystical creation of pure evil and dark magic. He has no rights. With that, we slap the cuffs on Kodiian, still looking smug as ever, and take him in, quickly sedating him so that he can't conjure any more spells. From there, we call the rest of the team and begin rounding up the rest of the Occultum assassins and members hiding out in Millennium City. The battle is over. And as the morning sun rises, you two head down to Raymond Miller's House of Waffles. All the coffee you can drink.
Woo! Yeah, let's go.
Unfortunately, the wonderful smells from within Raymond Miller's House of Waffles have a unique effect on love. We owe Ray 2 new doors, a few windows, and a new roof.
He just wants some waffles.
Game, set. Okay, let's check out the points. Bestia, you win this round.
Yay!
Meanwhile, in the holding cell block at P.A.C.K headquarters, I come down and find Kodiian, still sedated, in his cell. I deactivate the sedation field around him, and he wakes up. Comfy.
Sure. Wonderful accommodations.
Don't worry. You'll be in for a change of scenery soon enough. I just thought I'd come down and tell you that we'll be transferring you to Stronghold, the Supermax wing, in 2 days. There you'll await trial, and then after that, well, who's to say?
Always the good guy.
Sensing a possible spell about to be conjured by him, I press the sedation field button again, and Kodiian begins to drift back to sleep. Goodbye, Janos. This time, for good. I promptly turn and leave the room, slamming the door behind me. As Kodiian falls back down to the makeshift bed, he manages to keep his eyes open just long enough to see writing burning onto the nearby wall. It reads, "In 2 days, be ready." Then, as suddenly as it appeared, it vanishes. Kodiian smiles, and then sleeps. Thank you for watching Tale in the Air. The characters and world of the Champions RPG are owned by their respective owners. The characters created by our contestants are owned solely by the contestants. The Fox and the Fedora, Tale in the Air, and Director Fox are all owned by Sean Basinger, No Sense Entertainment, and Z Media Productions. All rights reserved.